Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Bozard Ford studio for the St. Johns County show that's on in the morning. We have a St. Augustine official discussing proposed changes to the noise ordinance. A man with immigration warrant ran into the woods, causing a backup on I-95. A 15-year-old injured in an electric dirt bike crash, and Baptist Health ending UF Health partnership for pediatric care. We'll get to all that and more, but first, we want to thank Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's a local legacy built on trust, family values, and a commitment to doing things the right way. Proudly serving St. Augustine and beyond for over 75 years, Bozard offers award-winning service, unbeatable selection, and a state-of-the-art facility with 91 climate-controlled service bays, a quick lane for no appointment-needed maintenance, and even Ford's Garage restaurant right there on site. Recognized with the Triple Crown Award and President's Awards, Bozard Ford Lincoln is where hometown service meets national excellence. Great pricing, friendly faces, and a better buying experience are just off I-95 and State Road 16. Bozard Ford, they are driven to inspire. Also, a big shout out on this Tuesday morning to Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Bin 39 Wine Bar, B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy Houses. Support all of our wonderful sponsors and support us with your likes, comments, and shares. Find us on YouTube and help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We're also on Rumble, so you can follow us there. You can help us get more starbursts for the studios and all the crew by sending those Facebook stars. And don't forget, our app is back in the Apple App Store. All right, got business out of the way. Good morning, everybody.
Hey, happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. It is a happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
I definitely was driving here thinking it was Wednesday.
Yeah, I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I did too. And I got here and I got nervous because we have an interview tomorrow morning.
Mm-hmm.
And our interviewee hadn't contacted me this morning. And there's a reason why. It's because that interview is tomorrow.
That isn't true. That is in fact true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we have two people to interview tomorrow. We have the outgoing superintendent and the incoming superintendent are both coming in studio tomorrow.
They're passing the baton right here in studio.
Yes. That's it's where it's happening. It's where it's happening. So, do we have guys in the booth? Or we have
We do have guys in
in
the booth. We have Blake and Aiden in the booth. Morning, guys.
Hello, how's it going? Yeah, come on, lean in.
There we go. All right. I was about to say. We promised two guys.
Yeah.
All right. How you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm just showing Aiden around like a little bit about like how everything works back here. So it's fun.
Yeah,
You
we're
like
keeping
that?
up the nepotism in the studio.
Indeed.
I'm the only non-related employee at this point.
In the studio right now.
I mean, honorary family?
You're a family.
Yeah. Okay.
You're a
I'll take
family. You're a family.
So, do we have a question of the day?
Question of the day is, I mean, this is a question that's been going back at least, 80, 90 years. Who wins, Superman or Iron Man? Superman or Iron Man?
So, Superman is supernatural. He's an alien. He has innate gifts that are just a part of his being. Iron Man is wealthy. And at a certain point, inflation hits. I mean, Endgame says that wealth beats innate skill, but that might just be Hollywood propaganda. I think that innate skill probably beats wealth most times. So I'm going Superman, despite evidence to the contrary.
All right. Blake, do you have an opinion on this one?
I definitely do see Superman definitely being Iron Man. Like I know Tony Stark's like super wealthy, so he could possibly get it. Actually, you know what? I just thought about that. He's super wealthy. He could possibly make a suit out of Krypton. So I'm gonna say Iron Man.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. See, and I'm 100% Iron Man because I think the intelligence level of Iron Man, not so much as wealth.
Okay.
Because he's wealthy with
smarts.
With smarts.
Okay.
So
that's what sets him aside.
He's going to figure out kryptonite.
Yeah. So that's what sets him apart from Batman.
Yeah.
Batman wasn't as smart as Iron Man.
He was pretty smart, but he wasn't. He's
Superman
not Tony Stark smart.
Batman. Yeah. Okay.
So the Iron Man takes out Batman too.
So
Because their wealth is equal. Tony Stark, I think, is a little bit smarter.
all right.
So
Yeah, I'll give you that. I
And
didn't
his
think
humor
about
is much better.
much better. Batman's a little bit of a grump.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going with my money's on Iron Man.
I didn't think about a kryptonite suit.
Yeah. So the kryptonite thing, I think Tony Stark would figure that out and find that flaw, and then it's over. I mean, Superman almost got taken out by Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor wasn't as smart or as rich as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
So
I defer. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
The people are going both ways.
I agree. Tony Stark. In the end, he'd get there.
Yeah. Lenny's saying Iron Man's dead and Superman's not. So right now, Superman wins.
And that's why I said evidence to the contrary.
Yeah.
Well,
so Superman
which-
couldn't have taken out Thanos by himself. So, it's Iron Man needed help with that one.
so
Too.
Superman's better than Captain Marvel then.
I don't know what Captain
Because it
Marvel.
took the entire Marvel crew to take out Thanos. You're saying Superman could.
I don't know if Superman's better because I don't know what the weakness of Captain Marvel is.
Because she's a girl, she technically doesn't have any weaknesses in the Marvel universe.
But I mean,
Except that haircut,
she doesn't
I'm
have that crypto. Yeah, the haircut's awful. Yeah, you need a new barber. But can you cut Superman's hair?
Does it grow?
I don't know. Does Superman need a haircut? Because I mean,
Kryptonite
what kind of
scissors?
scissors? What kind of scissors do you use to cut Superman? There's so many questions about this.
Lots of questions.
So, but I think Captain Marvel beats Superman too.
All right.
Captain
Marvel beat Superman. I think you're just a Marvel person.
I am.
DC.
I lean towards Marvel, but I mean, when I was a kid, I was more of a DC person.
Okay.
So, and I've shifted because they've done such a nice job with
the movies changing your opinions.
Yeah, they've shifted on me.
They really blew the DC universe. They really blew
They could have done so much better.
They could have done so many amazing things. Although I do think that Aquaman was cast well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Superman was cast well.
The worst of the superheroes growing up ended up being the best DC movie.
Right?
Was Aquaman.
I know.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa was a great Aquaman.
Yeah, and a lot of people say I look absolutely nothing like Jason Momoa, and I think they're right.
Confirmed. Yes.
I think they're right.
Fact check true.
Yeah.
What's funny was when that movie was coming out, my husband grew his hair out.
Oh yeah.
And we were at dinner at Olive Garden, and our waitress kept looking over at our table and whispering to the bartender. And finally she came over and she was like, "You look a lot like Aquaman." And we're like, "He's not. I promise he's not."
Yeah, Aquaman's like 6'4".
Yeah. I was like,
Louis a good-looking dude. It probably helped the ego a lot, but he's not 6'4".
Well, I told him, at least now that Jason Momoa would play you in a biopic, because people did talk to him about looking like Aquaman a lot. Now he's cut his hair and he's grown a beard, and people are giving him who plays Hulk? Bana? Eric Bana?
Yeah.
Who's that actor right now? Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo.
He looks like Mark Ruffalo, and I don't like Mark Ruffalo, so I don't like that comparison at all.
Well, I look like the previous Hulk, Edward Norton Jr. So, or he looks like me. He's 6 months younger than me.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure he looks like me.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, not exactly. And I'm pretty sure Steve Buscemi plays me in my Lifetime movie.
Who would play? I don't even want to go there. It's now time for a quick check of the weather.
It's going to rain.
That quick check of the weather is brought to you by Bin 39. Discover one of St. Augustine's best kept secrets. Bin 39, tucked inside the St. George Inn at the north end of St. George Street, with over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's the perfect spot for a romantic date night or a relaxing after-work unwind. Sit by the glass or the bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, "I'll have what Irving's having." Bin 39, your taste to discover. I still think we need to work out like a watch party at Bin 39 at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Like a selection of sparkling wines with a mimosa chaser maybe. And a watch party of the morning show.
Yeah, just do it at the morning.
Yeah,
let's just do it on property there.
Yeah,
right there in the courtyard. But I was going to give you an exact time today
On the
but
rain?
but it's almost too easy today.
Mm.
Today at 1:14, it will be raining.
Mark it. 1:14. It will be raining.
It will be raining at 1:14, but today's going to be an easy one. This one's an easy one. It's coming across.
All right, mark it down.
So
Let
it's
us
not
know
going
in
to
the
stop.
comments
It's
tomorrow.
coming across. Sorry, the camera wasn't on me. I was waving to no one. So
Like a ghost.
all right. So get your stuff done in the morning.
All right, get ready in the booth. It's time for the Hit the Blake's traffic report.
Traffic.
Whoop.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Aiden, you can't lose your job this early.
He wrote that down, not me. Never said it.
You're telling me I can't believe what I see on the interwebs?
I know, it's shocking. I know. I can't
Traffic is
believe it.
moving.
Yeah, but just
Traffic is moving,
So-
but be careful out there. It's going to get nasty quick.
indeed. Yeah. So be careful. It's
At 1:14.
Yes.
At 1:14
Traffic will be bad at 1:14.
is especially at the Stairwood 16 two pregnant lady intersection.
Too pregnant.
That's what it looks like.
So funny.
It looks like two pregnant ladies laying on the beach. The sign does.
Yeah. My aunt got a Victoria's Secret bikini for her first trip to Mexico with my family. And at the resort we were going to, they had double speed bumps. And so rather than a single bump sign for like caution speed bump ahead, it was double speed bumps. And she points to him and
Don't
she's
bus.
like, look, it's me in my bikini.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of is my aunt saying that every time you say two pregnant women laying next to each other intersection. All right.
No, they're called topas.
Topa?
Topas. Like you're doing like 55 in Mexico, and then you'll see a sign that says Topa, and it's two double speed bumps. It's like about every 3 miles or something like that, just to slow you down.
Yeah.
Topa.
Fly a little.
Yeah, everyone in the car ends up yelling it out. Topa.
All right, that traffic report brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley and experience over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marcos, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler's Historic Hotel. With open-air views and all-day hop-on, hop-off access, it's the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and local St. Johns County residents ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program at hometownpass.com. Don't forget to sign up today. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine one stop at a time. Sliding into the news, St. Augustine officials to discuss proposed changes to the noise ordinance. The St. Augustine City Commission will consider updates to the city's noise ordinance, a proposal that's been months in the making and the focus of several previous meetings. Ordinance 2025-08 is set for its first reading and includes several amendments based on community and commission feedback. A key feature of the proposal is the introduction of the, quote, plainly audible distance limits in residential areas. Under the ordinance, noise shouldn't be clearly heard inside someone's home or from 100 to 150 feet away, with that limit tightening to 50 to 100 feet overnight. The proposal also seeks to streamline enforcement by allowing officers to act based on audibility, especially when specialized sound equipment isn't readily available. Here are the proposed changes for bars, restaurants, and music venues. Sound levels will be measured within 10 feet of the building. From 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Thursday through Saturday, sound can rise up to 12 decibels above ambient noise. On all other days, this cutoff is 10 p.m., with sound limited to 7 decibels above ambient at other times. These new rules are stricter than the current ordinance and could affect around 64 lodging businesses and 73 bars and restaurants throughout the city. Violations could carry a $100 civil penalty, with repeat offenses fined up to $499. The commission will review the ordinance during its regular meeting at City Hall. What are your thoughts, Troy? You're a man about downtown and you like to party.
My first thought, I'm not as much of a party animal as I used to be.
Yeah, well.
My recovery time is much worse.
It happens to lots of guys.
First off, we gotta enforce what we have before we make it stricter. If you're not enforcing what you have, then why are you making it stricter?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have the manpower to do it. So if you have the manpower to do this, I think it's a good thing. I think it gives people, time to have a good time and do those things, and then kind of close the doors, because there are residents that live downtown.
Mm-hmm.
The hotels, I mean, that's one of our biggest complaints we have for our hotel guests is some of these bars leave their doors wide open and are going pretty late.
Yeah, they are.
And not even caring what exists in this this noise ordinance. So, I mean, first off, the first thing you got to do is you got to enforce, and you got to be able to consistently, not just enforce, consistently enforce, because if it's not consistent, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. So it's more on the follow through than actually what's in the rule to me. And that's what I want to see happening is the follow through of it. Mm-hmm. So, I don't want to stifle live music, but I mean, the Colonial Oak's already doing this. So they're meeting this criteria. They're shutting down before this time anyway. Mm-hmm. So, and that's one of the outdoor venues and that we have there that can get kind of loud. Yeah. So they're already following the rules. It is. It's a wonderful venue. So. Yeah. A wonderful venue. And I think we have Cindy coming in next week to talk about it. So
I'm curious, what's their definition of ambient noise? Is it ambient noise of St. George Street during the day? Is there a definitive ambient noise decibel level? Is this going to require police officers to be rating noise and that's at different time throughout the day?
I don't know if it's going to be a code enforcement thing or if it's going to be a law enforcement thing. Mm-hmm. And they're going to have the way it looks like it's written, they're going to have visually be there, physically be there, and also have some equipment that can kind of measure it at the 10 feet rule. What did it say about the 10 feet rule?
Sound levels will be measured within 10 feet of the building.
Yeah, so they're going to have to have the equipment available, and I know sometimes they don't have that. Mm-hmm. It has gotten better on your phone. You can download a noise level thing on your phones that aren't as accurate. But we had one when we were at the amphitheater, because of the neighbors that are around, and it sounds tough because if the cloud covers there, it travels a lot further. Yeah. So that 150. So on Tuesday you might be at the exact same decibel you were at on Monday. But now you're over because of the way the cloud cover and the wind and all of those things are a factor.
Humidity, cloud cover, fog, all of those things change.
You have 20 less bodies in there to absorb that sound, and it changes everything too. And you're like, I was playing the exact same level yesterday. No one said anything. Yeah, but it's traveling at a different rate. So
there's a lot of factors.
It's a lot of factors in there. So, but it's just one of those things. I'm more concerned about the enforcement than the actual rule. I like the upgrade because some of the fines weren't that, it's just like, screw that, we're just going to keep music and pay the fine. Yeah. Is what it used to be. So I like the fact that they kind of put some juice into that too.
Okay. So you're saying enforce current laws, show that there isn't a sufficient benefit of the current laws before you update laws.
Yeah, it's the second half of this that's going to make or break it. So I don't have a problem with any of the rules they put in there, but it's the second half of this that's going to make or break it. So
all right, moving on. Man with immigration warrant runs into the woods after a traffic stop in St. Johns County. Search snarls traffic. There was a law enforcement search that caused traffic backup on I-95 in St. Johns County Monday morning. According to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, at least one man with a felony immigration warrant fled into the woods after a traffic stop conducted by Customs Border Protection near International Golf Parkway. A Florida Department of Transportation traffic camera showed multiple law enforcement vehicles with lights flashing on the shoulder of I-95 South. The Sheriff's Office says it assisted in the search, but referred all questions to CBP, which led the operation. The situation began around 9:40 a.m. and traffic traffic quickly backed up in both directions. By 10:30, the man was still on the run, but by 11 a.m., officers had cleared the scene and traffic resumed normal flow. Look at that. Wild image.
Oh, wow. So they didn't get him?
It doesn't say in my story whether they apprehended the man with the warrant or not. Blake, do you know whether they apprehended him?
Let me double check.
Okay.
Okay.
The wording of this story, I just kept hearing Into the Woods, which is a great Broadway play.
Mhm.
Like, that's a fun show. All right. So traffic was moving by 11 a.m. So hour and 20 minutes. Traffic was snarled because one dude ran into the woods.
Yep.
Do we have an update on that, Blake?
Unfortunately, no updates.
Okay.
On that. Because I probably presume that since the operation was done by the CBP, not by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, I believe like you won't get as like much information out of that than if you did if it was a St. Johns County operation.
Yeah, it definitely won't be as readily available.
Yeah.
So
Gas Buddy Gas Report. Tell us in the comments what gas prices are looking like around you. We've got Sunoco at $21.99 North Ponce de Leon Boulevard. That's at $2.84. Gate on Mizell Roads at $2.86. Shell on North Ponce de Leon Boulevards at $2.93. Shell on 146 King Street is $2.95. Owens on South Ponce is $2.99. So is the Shell at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard. Sunoco at 450 South Ponce de Leon Boulevard is also $2.99, and so is A1A Discount Beverage. Gate on US 1 North is at $3.05, and Circle K at 207s at $3.06. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds, available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just help when you need it most. When time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245. Got live music today. Got the J.C. Hatfield Duo at Milltop Tavern at noon. Brett Blackshear at Tradewinds Lounge, 1 p.m. Reggie Starrett is at Tradewinds Lounge at 5 p.m. Damon Slaughter is at O.C. White's, also 5 p.m. The Carpetbaggers are at Fusion 904 Eatery. That's a good group of guys and lady. They're at 5:30 p.m. Jeremy Weinglass is at Michael's, 6 p.m. Jolie is also at Michael's at 6 p.m. So we'll see. Flip a coin. Maybe they're performing together.
It's probably duo.
Joshua Tennessee Worthy's at Pierre Pubs, also 6 p.m. Aslan and the Naysayers at Prohibition Kitchen, also 6 p.m. The Head and the Heart at St. Augustine Amphitheater at 6:15 p.m. They've learned the Troy Blevins lesson. Joanna Connor is at Cafe 11 at 8 p.m. That music report is brought to you by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the local experts at Fidus Roofing and Construction. Voted best of St. Augustine every year since 2012, whether it's emergency repairs or full roof replacement. Fidus offers expert shingle and metal installations using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System, all backed by strong warranties and GAF Master Elite certification. Fidus Roofing, that's 904-355-ROOF.
all right, I am going to say they do still do pavers and gutters, but we're going to kind of go away from using that because
Interjections?
the interjections.
All right. Do you want me to just include it as part of what I say?
Yeah, we can put it in there.
Okay.
So, because they still do pavers and gutters.
And they do an amazing job.
Yes,
at pavers and
they
gutters.
really do. They really do. They do
They
an
do.
amazing job at everything.
A better job than maybe our sing-songy interjections
Yes.
would connote. All right, moving into some interesting news. We've got Baptist swaps UF Health for Nemours in pediatric care overhaul. In a major shakeup for pediatric care in Northeast Florida, Baptist Health has ended its decades-long partnership with UF Health at Wolfson's Children's Hospital and is turning to Nemours Children's Health to take over. Baptist Health announced the transition this week, stating that while the change will take effect sometime in the first quarter of 2026, there will be no immediate impact on care. The current UF Health physicians will continue their services at Wolfson's until the transition is complete. UF Health responded with disappointment, saying they were surprised and disheartened by Baptist's decision to unilaterally end the partnership, which has long served as a foundation for pediatric care and education in the region. Still, Baptist says the move reflects an expansion of its 30-year relationship with Nemours, one of the nation's largest pediatric health systems. Excuse me. Sorry, choking.
I didn't realize that Nemours and Wilson, because they're so close together, I thought they were the same.
I did too.
So I mean, because I've done Nemours and I've walked the bridge over to Wolfson.
And when you're at Wolfson's, you'll get
walk the
discharged
bridge back
to Nemours.
Yeah. So I didn't know they were separate. So this is actually kind of
news to all of us.
Yeah, and we've used both, and they're both great. So
they are. And a Nemours spokesperson said the partnership will allow them to expand their physician team at Wolfson's and help advance clinical excellence for families across the region. Despite the shift, Wolfson's Children's will remain the primary pediatric teaching hospital for the UF Health College of Medicine in Jacksonville, and both organizations will continue to collaborate on community health initiatives like the Blue Zones Project. More details about the transition are expected to be released in the coming months. Baptist emphasized that continuity of care remains a top priority throughout the changeover.
Yeah, I always thought they were the same. They work so closely together that I never once thought that they weren't on the same page. I thought it was kind of those two were together. I didn't think of Baptist or University of Florida.
Yeah, because I believe there is like standing Nemours that are not connected to Nemours that are not connected to like Baptist Health. Like they're their own company, or at least their own organization.
Yeah, having been there, they do have sort of their origin story on a sticker in the elevator, and I had read it a couple of times, and I knew that they had different origins, but I thought that there was a standing partnership there. And you're right, I never really noticed anything about UF Health when I was there. I haven't spent a lot of time there in the past 14 years, praise Jesus. But when I
spent
there,
way too much time there.
Yeah.
When Ty broke his hip, and then more recently with the Maeve's little scare that we had.
Yeah.
So we spent too much time there.
Yeah.
So.
Anytime.
I don't want to go back. I mean, I love them there and they're wonderful, but I don't want to go back.
They do amazing things, but they're the place you don't ever want to have to go.
No.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, no.
But they do an amazing job of what they do, and I just hope that nothing falls through the cracks in this.
That's the most important. Don't let the services go down.
Absolutely. So. And whenever there's shakeup on doctors, people, we love our doctors. We love the doctors that provide good care for us. And so, it always hurts when a doctor moves on because of transitions like this. So moving into another serious topic, a 15-year-old boy seriously injured in a crash involving an electric dirt bike in St. Johns County. A 15-year-old boy was seriously injured Monday afternoon in a crash involving an electric dirt bike in St. Johns County. Deputies say the crash happened around 4 p.m. at the intersection of Rialto Drive and Nocatee Village when the teen failed to stop for a car. He was wearing a helmet at the time of the collision. Praise Jesus. The boy was airlifted to the hospital with serious injuries. St. Johns County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit is actively investigating the incident. This marks the second serious e-bike crash in the area in just over a month. In April, a 12-year-old boy was also airlifted after crashing his e-bike near Racetrack Road and Julington Creek Plantation. Just last week, St. Johns County commissioners reviewed a proposed ordinance to improve e-bike safety, but no decision was made. Officials opted instead to turn the proposal into a resolution for continued discussion at a future meeting. Well, we've discussed this e-bike ordinance a lot.
Yeah, I mean, hope the young man is okay, and we've discussed it a lot. But I don't know, I took some pretty nasty falls just on my regular bike. I can't imagine what it would have been like if I was going 15 miles an hour faster. Just kind of where we're at. I mean, all of us, all of us took some falls as kids. All us Gen Xers. I don't know about the rest of you guys. We
I fell out of trees.
fell out of trees. I fell out of trees too.
Yeah.
So I fell out of trees because Tarzan would swing from tree to tree, and I never made it.
Yeah.
No, these e-bikes have taken those falls and made them even more dangerous because of the difference in the speed.
Yeah.
So it's really something. You parents, please talk to your kids if they have an e-bike about some safety issues. Don't just throw them on them and say good luck and smack them on the backside and say you'll be fine. Talk to them about stopping at stop signs, doing the right things, or take their e-bikes from them.
Yeah.
So if they're not doing the right things, it's a reflection, unfortunately, on the parents, and that's, I don't know if that's a fair statement to make, but up until 18, they're your responsibility to keep them safe. So. Absolutely.
A neighbor was interviewed. The crash involved an Amazon delivery vehicle. So the boy just didn't stop and ran right into an Amazon delivery vehicle, and it's terrible.
And actually looked like there was a video out there of someone driving by where they actually filmed like the aftermath of it, and it was raining at the time, so like this person
could have slid too. I mean,
yeah.
It's just it's one of those things you gotta. Thank goodness he did have his helmet on. So I mean, his parents at 15, if you'd have told me to wear a helmet, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. But the time I grew up in, you tuck your seat belts underneath your seat. You didn't have to wear them. So it's a different time. But I mean, also we have these safety products readily available.
Yeah.
That didn't used to, they existed, but they weren't readily available.
Yeah. I don't see an easy fix for this as long as these bikes are accessible to children. Do you see any path forward in the immediate future for?
I think it's going to have to take, I mean, unfortunately it's things like this, and then it's going to have to be the parents having this. All right, don't be stupid. There's still going to be kids out there. I mean, I was that kid.
Yeah.
I was that kid. I mean, this could have easily been me at that age. I mean, we had dirt bikes, we had go-karts, and we just took off.
Yeah.
And we went in the woods for the weekend. Our parents didn't know where we were at. We just went in the woods for the weekend. And we said we're going camping. That's how we went camping. We got on our dirt. I mean, there were gas-powered dirt bikes, no different than this, but but there wasn't as much traffic. I think the big thing is the traffic level is increasing, and parents just they really gotta pound into their kids. You can seriously get hurt, or you got to take them away from them.
Yeah. So. And it's hard if your kid has this e-bike and they can go out into the world at these speeds, short of having a tracker on them so you can see how fast your kid is moving away from you and where they're going. Like, that's the only way you can really be aware of what's happening. And
that's what needs to happen. I mean, I have trackers on our bikes because of, the criminal activity downtown, not so much to track how fast anyone's going, but it doesn't, technology's there. That's a great suggestion. I'm going to be able to see how fast you're going. If you go over this, I'm going to take it from you.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a tool parents can use, but I mean, parents know their own individual kids and how to associate and relate to them. So, it like I said, and like the sheriff said, the parents got to participate in this.
And this is just, every kid that gets hurt in this way it breaks my heart.
Yep.
All right, Troy, how do you want to check the comments today?
On this Tuesday, I will tolerantly travel into the territory of the commenters.
All right. That tolerant territory travel is brought to you by B&S Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to B&S Signs. Proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering to towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with B&S Signs. Visit bnssigns.com because when it comes to signs, they do it all. It's also brought to you by the St. Augustine Handy House. Need a prefab or custom portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Usina Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with free delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy financing options to fit your budget. Visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday, or call 904-823-9092, St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. All right, Troy, comments report.
All right, Wawa was at 286. Costco's holding at 269.
Right.
One of the things, and I thought about this, and Bobby put it in the comments, in the opening of Superman, it could stop a bullet. Superman is getting shot by a guy with a gun in the opening, and it's bouncing off of him. And then the guy throws the gun, and instead of Superman letting it bounce off him or catching it, he ducks.
He ducks.
So this is why Superman loses, because Iron Man would have caught it. So I just let you know that. All right. We went through old man terms for rainy days.
Okay.
I ended up with a frog strangler. That's what we got.
Frog strangler at 114.
A frog strangler will be happening at 114. Kenny said,
tell PETA.
Kenny said he'd ride down a big wheel down big old hills. And Tim said, when's the last time you saw a kid build a ramp? Because in my day, by the way, Kenny, I never had the big wheel where you can slam on the brakes and slide.
Yeah.
Those were cool. I never was able to get one out of Goodwill. But yeah, when's the last time you saw kids building a ramp in the front yard to jump over their friends that laid on the ground? Your kids have never done that, right?
My kids in my neighborhood have built a ramp, not to try and like jump over a person, and they immediately abandoned it because they tested it and they built it horribly, and
all of them were built horribly.
But they did attempt to build a ramp.
They attempted it.
Yeah,
if you haven't jumped over your friend and landed on your friend's stomach, have you really lived? Just saying.
I have not really lived, everybody.
I've crashed jumping over my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot
or landing on my friends, I think should be.
We have a lot of really steep driveways in our neighborhood, like weirdly steep for the fact that we're in Florida. And so our kids would, ask permission from the neighbors if they could like ride down it really, really fast. So, they've done that, and they did try to build a ramp, but turns out it's hot in Florida and building a ramp is hard work, and none of them wanted to volunteer to be the one laying on the ground. So yeah, they definitely abandoned it.
So you had to take turns. And I wasn't that good of a bike rider, so my friends, sorry about that, guys. Sorry, Chris, Darren, Mark,
intentional.
George, all you guys that landed on. Yeah. No, I don't know why you guys even let me try it. I never got landed on. They were good bike riders. I wasn't a good bike rider. No. They did the whole BMX thing. And
do you play in the long game?
I was playing baseball.
I'll end your genetic line right here.
Yeah.
I'll win in the end.
Yeah. No, it's just the way it was. So.
All right. Stoidum stat today, Troy.
All right. Stoidum stat today. This organization, we have a lot of great organizations. And I don't know if any organization that's probably saved more lives since 1935 than this organization. And that's Alcoholics Anonymous.
All right.
So Alcoholics Anonymous was started by Bill Wilson and Dr. Robert Smith, the 12-step process. And I truly believe that this group, I don't know the steps. I don't know a lot about them, but I believe this group has saved so many lives over the decades. And right now there are over 60,000 local groups. That's just groups. Some of them are big, some of them are small. And just want to say happy birthday. It is their 90th
90th birthday.
Wow. Today.
A lot of families saved, a lot of people saved.
Marriages,
relationships with
jobs,
parents.
Yeah. So congratulations and thank you, Bill Wilson and Dr. Robert Smith, for coming up with this in Ohio. It was in Ohio.
Ohio did something good.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah,
it's a rare, so I got to give them credit when they deserve it. So.
All right. I know during that thing we don't talk about in 2020, we had my church still hosts multiple meetings for Alcoholics Anonymous. And that was a big discussion, was how to continue those meetings in lockdown times.
Yeah.
And so a lot of good people trying to figure out ways to continue to serve and support. That Stordom Stat brought to you by St. Augie's Pizza in downtown St. Augustine. The wait is over. They are open today. Go get yourself a slice right on the corner of Riberia and MLK. Enjoy some pizza. Tell them that you heard about them from us. Do we have plugs today, Troy?
We do. We have a very special guest on Bollocks tonight. We have Task Force Hydro 1. Did I say that right?
Task Force Hydro 1, yes.
All right. Coming in, talking about all the amazing stuff they do. Excited to talk to them. I need to learn more about them, and I'm excited to learn what that crew does.
They're a great group of guys. I've got some of their stickers on my computer here. I've been blessed to be at a few of their events. They're just amazing guys doing amazing work. Blake, do you have any plugs today?
No plugs.
All right. I do have a plug. I almost never do. Tonight is the strawberry moon, which is the full moon for June.
Okay.
So the lunar disk will fully be lit for stargazers across the U.S. when it rises above the southeastern horizon at sunset tonight. So that's your best opportunity to get really cool pictures with the big full moon right at the horizon line. So take a step out and look for that strawberry moon today.
Yeah, and hopefully the storms will be subsided.
No more frog strangler. But
yeah, the frog stranglers. Yeah, I mean it should be gone by then.
All right.
So it might be a little bit of cloud cover. Maybe a little bit of cloud cover, but should be won't be strangling any frogs or
for the strawberry moon.
Yeah, happy ducks.
All right. We have lots of ducks in my neighborhood. I love the happy ducks.
They'll be happy ducks today.
All right. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube and Rumble. We got Bollocks tonight with a great guest. Check them out at 5 p.m. Bye, guys.
Bye.